Today I'll explain about production function and the various terms and ideas surrounding it. As a student, you make a choice every day as to how many hours to spend studying. There may be many factors which influences your choice. How much you enjoy your work, how many hours your friends study and so on. The main motivation to devote time to studying comes from your belief that the more time you spend studying, the higher the grade you will be able to obtain. Here, we assume a positive relationship between hours worked and final grade, holding other things such as study environment, productivity of an individual, etc. constant. Now, imagine a student who can vary the number of hours he spends studying. We'll assume that the hours he spends studying over the semester will increase the percentage grade that he will receive at the end, ceteris paribus. Here, by ceteris paribus, we mean that all the other variables which can influence the final grade are held constant. A production function is a graphical or mathematical expression describing the amount of output that can be produced by any given amount or combination of inputs. Here, a student's production function translates the number of hours per day spent studying, which is nothing but his input of labor, into a percentage grade, which is his output. This is a tabular representation of the production function where the number of hours spent studying or his input seems to depend on his grade or his total output. As you can see, the maximum grade he can achieve is 90 if he spends 15 hours or more per day studying. The minimum grade he can achieve is 0 if he spends 0 hours studying. As the number of hours spent studying increases from 0 hours to 15 hours, the grade obtained also rises. If we plot this relationship on a graph, we can get the curve as shown here. He can achieve a higher grade by studying more, so the curve slopes upward till he reaches 15 hours. At 15 hours of work per day, he gets the highest grade he is capable of, which is 90%. Any time spent studying beyond that does not affect his exam result. He will be so tired that studying more each day will not achieve anything and the curve becomes flat. Let's have a look at two concepts surrounding this. The average product of labor is the total product of labor divided by the number of units of labor employed. Here, the total product is the grade obtained and the units of labor are the study time measured in hours. The average product of labor is a common measure of labor productivity. Average product is the total output divided by a particular input. Here, it is the average number of percentage points per hour of study. In the first row, average product is indeterminate. If you study for an hour, the average product obtained will be 20 divided by 1, which equals 20, and 33 divided by 2, which is 16.5 if you study for 2 hours, and so on. We can see that as the total study time increases, the average product or the productivity of the student diminishes. This is because each additional hour of study per day lowers the average product of all his study time taken as a whole. The marginal product is the additional amount of output that is produced if a particular input was increased by 1 unit while holding all the other inputs constant. Here, it means the increase in grades obtained as a result of increasing the study time by an hour while holding all the other variables that affect the grades such as study environment, productivity, etc. constant. It means the increase in the grade of the student by the increase of study time by an hour. If you remember the production function, it clearly showed that the total product increased till 15 hours of study time, but then it got flatter. This means that initially, as the number of study hours increases, the grade obtained rises. But after 15 hours, the grade obtained didn't rise even when we increased the study hours. That is, after 15 hours, further hours will make no difference to his result or grades obtained. The curve is flat. It essentially captures the idea that an extra hour of study helps a lot if you're not studying much. But if you're already studying a lot, then studying even more does not help very much. In the table, we can see that the marginal product of labor, which is nothing but the ratio of change in grade to the ratio of study hours, is indeterminate at 0 hours as there isn't a change. In the second row, MPL is 20 as the incremental grade or the change in grade obtained is 20 and the incremental study time or the change in study time as compared to the first row is 1. Hence, when we take the ratio of these changes, we get 20 divided by 1, which equals 20. We can see that as we keep on increasing the study time by 1 hour, the MPL goes on diminishing. One another thing to be noted is that suppose the student studies more than 15 hours per day, then his marginal product will be 0 as he doesn't gain anything in terms of grades. Marginal change is an important and common concept in economics. It is the rate at which the grade increases per hour of additional study. This is nothing but the slope, which can be calculated as the ratio of change in vertical intercept by the horizontal intercept. Here, it implies the ratio of increment in grades obtained and the incremental hours of study, which is the slope of the production function. Hope it is clear. Thank you.